What is up YouTube, and welcome back to another RiftGuides WildRift video. We have a KRANIX gameplay again in the bottom. If you see him in the description below, you also see it as well, and it's the Kalista game. And they get greeted with an immediate double up by the misfortune, immediately losing half of their HP, and agony is already unfolding in front of our eyes, and Blitzcrank has to wait for his hook again. I'm going to present you another Kalista gameplay of mine playing full Lethality Kalista, which is very powerful into squishy champions. And yeah, we see the big difficulties of a Blitzcrank champion. He's a one-hit wonder, and it's all about his hook. If his hook is on cooldown, you can basically do whatever you want during the laning phase. Only later on, when he gets the items and, well, ability haste and speed, he can finally run at you with the second ability. Now the Soraka is getting hooked, but they can't all in here. Bone plating silence is just too powerful. And the level 2 advantage as well. This is going to be a very tough lane to play. It's all about the Blitzcrank hook or the enemy mistakes. There's also a secret many people don't know about Kalista, is that if you last hit a minion with your third ability, you can also hit an enemy with your third ability, and you get a full reset. So if you pay close attention to minions dying, you can actually deal more damage to enemy champions. You can also transfer all the Ren stacks, like the stacks of your auto attacks. You see the spears that are like stuck in enemy minions, to enemy champions by killing them with your first ability. And this can be a massive game changer when it comes to generally gameplay. So this is going to be absolutely insane. And Mr. John Smith here, the Pantheon, is looking at a potential play, not going for it, but now the Blitzcrank walks up, we have the shield vault, and we get a free kill onto the Soraka. Most certainly we'll secure the kill very easy. And yeah, if you're wondering, why didn't he put a point into his second ability? I honestly don't know myself, because it's a massive damage loss to not have it, and putting points into your third ability doesn't really do anything anymore. They buffed the damage of your third ability on early game, I think roughly by double of the flat damage, and they increased the scaling, but given the enemy's champions, like look at the squishy champions, in this game, I think just having the ability to just one-shot them with the first ability max is going to do so much more. And even if you're going on hit, I think the first ability max is still going to provide you with more damage than the third ability max is going to do, simply because people die so unbelievably fast, and your first ability plays such a big role in these fights. Because we get the mark of the second ability, very important to have it. It's not applied here, so we'll get a kill here with the third ability. But yeah, it's also very important to keep in mind that, as I said earlier, the second ability plays such a big role in dealing damage. So with this, we're actually losing damage because it's a very high percentage of the enemy's max HP that we're missing out. And not only this, if the, for example, Blitzcrank hits you with an auto attack, the mark is applied, and your first ability actually triggers that mark. So the burst damage you can actually have with your first ability is absolutely crazy. The Soraka is making a lot of mistakes here, getting too close, but yeah, the third ability just doesn't do any damage. Like, there were so many stacks here, and it just doesn't do anything, and we get hit by the double up, and the Talon is also here, so it's actually a good thing that they died and the Talon didn't get anything, because if the Talon got the kills, we would have been really depressed, because giving the Talon kills is going to make life so unbelievably horrible for an AD carry, especially something like Kalista, because you don't really have any layers of defense against a Talon, because he just jumps you. And what do? Like, against many other champions, you just kite away, but you can't really kite away from that one. It's such big damage having a first ability. Oh, he's finally putting points into his first ability, after putting 2 points into his third ability. He also still has no point in his second ability. I really hope he does that very soon. Come on now. Yes. There's one more thing. This second ability, max HP damage, is magic damage, so we have to keep that in mind as well. And with this meta we have, it's either about just one-shotting or kiting specific bruises. You see the mark is being applied, but he can't really play forward. Mark is being consumed, Soraka's healing too much. They lack the damage right now. The enemy is too far ahead. The Talon makes his appearance now. Gets a little pop here. Does decent damage back, and all of them will apparently survive. Misfortune is making a big mistake. What the hell? That double up though. I guess that was some crazy damage. Is it a pen boots Draktar or straight to Dirk, Misfortune? Because that shit looked crazy. Well, you're about to die if you go too close, because yeah, Talon's gonna yump you. Oh, imagine he gets the spear transfer. Or transfer. Would have been big. Oh no. Please, please don't do it. KRANIX, I know you want to. Don't do it to yourself. Okay, he doesn't. Feels bad not to have the full item reset. Also, Blade. Not so much of a fan nowadays. I mean, you get it for the attack speed, but yeah. Blade makes you squishier. Blade also isn't as much damage as people believe it is, especially if the enemy team doesn't have any tanky champions, because if you think about Blade as an item, how it functions, it deals current HP in physical damage, which means if any one of your team hits them first, which is going to be the case since you're on it Kalista, your damage will also be much lowered, because it's going to be on-hit damage that is based on current HP. Since they're already low, you'll not do too much. Jumps over the wall here. Will he get the Krug? Yes, he gets the Krug. The investment, and he pulls a minion. We in it to win it, friends. Something that's still very off about Kalista is that her early game is a lot weaker than it should be. I think they should add her, like, give her a tiny bit more range, like a tiny bit. Oh, Soraka is getting hooked here, but immediate silence, very well played by the Soraka. We have the ultimate available here to chase after, pulling in the Blitzcrank, getting the knock up, but yeah, this is going to be very tough. Like, we need to input more spears, and yeah, we finally got the kill. This will be another kill. Yoink. But yeah, I would love to see the difference between a level 1 rand and a level 4 rand, just to see the damage difference. It does with so many auto attacks, because it has a AD scaling, but you're not building a lot of AD with Blade of the Ruined King, are you? So yeah, we also always have to keep that in mind. So now he has Blade of the Ruined King. So what is he going to go for after Blade of the Ruined King? Terminus. More attack speed, more damage. And honestly speaking, Terminus is probably the highest first non-RNG damage item you can think of in current WildRift. Because if you get to hit multiple times, the item does 40 AD and 35 magic damage per single hit. That's 75 damage without considering any mitigation. While also providing you, after 6 hits, with 33% pen. That is quite an insane item if you get to hit a lot. So yeah, that is something you have to keep in mind, especially on Kaiser. There's this Manamune debate. Like, if you don't get to hit at all, Manamune will just do very well, since it's going to amplify your damage, ability is yada yada yada. But now we have an all-in here. The Misfortune will certainly die. There's no way she can survive. There are too many stacks here, but we nearly lose this as well, which is the crazy part. Any other AD carry or support, they just evaporate when this happens. But yeah, going back to the Manamune thing. Oh, talent comes in. Never mind, we have to take a quick break, and we'll probably still die. Nice exhaust here. Oh no, the 1 HP dream. We survive. Okay, can I now finally make my point? Yes, okay, now I can finally make my point. Garen can't come in time, okay. So, Manamune just got buffed. Yes, I'm very much aware. The issue with Manamune as an item, if you start with the item, is that you lack a lot of damage. You will have to pay only 2,700 gold for the item, which is very cheap to get your first ability evolve. Yes, I'll give you that one. But start with components. The components are 1,200 and 900. So you have a 2580 item with haste, compared to a BF sword of Terminus. And you also have a recurve bow. You will almost always guarantee to have a BF sword and a recurve bow, which means you are stronger on these components than you are on completed Manamune, for a very similar price. Now, the next thing is Manamune scaling. It takes a lot of time to scale up, and you will miss a lot of kills because you're lacking a lot of damage compared to the other build. Yeah, and Vigar, you're just gone, my friend. There's not even need for me to comment on you. You're just dead. 125 gold into the pockets of KRANIX. And yeah, so you're paying a very hefty opportunity price by going for Manamune in hopes for better scaling as you transition into the later stages of the game. However, with Terminus and Lethal Tempo, you're just able to run at the enemies Ooga Booga style and just completely outdamage them. What is Soraka doing? Oh, she found the Pantheon and she's like, nope, I'll run away. Malphite, please don't ult. Okay, he didn't ult. I've seen too many Malphites ult recently when the kill is already secured and it actually just destroys me. Little invasion happening here. Quickly picking up the blue buff, but the Talon is trying to have a word on this topic. Nearly immediately dying upon being touched after inputting auto attack after auto attack. Oh, is it a bait? I would have, you know, I would have loved for the Garen to be the bait here. Just stand still, look at KRANIX and just ult him. That would have been the funniest stuff ever. And yeah, make sure to check out his Twitch in the description below. He streams more regularly, and when I try to get a few games in to give him more spotlight so people like realize he's still there, he's making content, he's playing. And yeah, if you know any other goats that also play in a European server or any server, doesn't really matter, just let me know. I'll try to contact them as well. But look at the damage he just takes. And now like he has this on-hit dream of just space gliding around, flashes forward, gets a free clear again, but now the Talon says hello. Stasis a little bit too early, he will certainly die, right? Yeah, there's just no way he survives. Yeah, he just got outskilled, bruv. The On-It Dream is nice and all, but there are so many champions you physically cannot play Kalista into. Because your champion is very low range, similar to, for example, a Kai'Sa, but you lack the tools to actually deal damage akin to a Kai'Sa, and you lack the tools to actually reach the backline, similar to Kai'Sa. Because you can't go in there with a killer instinct, you can't go stealth, you have to actually move yourself. And if you get locked down because you're visible, you just immediately die. So your biggest tool, in fact, in most of the games you play, is your ultimate ability. It has CC that cannot be reduced by any means in the game. You can only use stasis against it, if you do it early enough, and then you still kind of soft CC it since you're locked in place. And you can buy QSS to not get knocked up by it. But other than this, you have up to a 2-second knock-up that you cannot do anything about. And if you're CC'd for 2 seconds, you best believe what happens to you. Because 2 seconds of WildRift feels like 10 years of League of Legends, where you just get auto attack to death without any resemblance of counterplay. He can jump the wall with versatility if he doesn't mess up. Yep, he doesn't mess up. Easy W. You'll see me in the other game, I'll showcase a little bit later, that I actually mess up one jump and nearly loses me the game because I'm a goblin, but we'll not talk about that one. Lampstake is moving forward, finding the Talon, hooks the Talon, he was forced to use ultimate, but the nice silence is just denying this play completely, and now it's free. Look at the moves, now he's so fast, jumps over the wall. Oh no, the exhaust actually slowed him down too much so he couldn't jump the wall, I guess. And the Malphite, just too angry, presses the ult and gets the free dub. But yeah, now he's back to just fixing the mid-wave. Veigar's recalling up there, looking for better days, which he's not gonna find. And there's one champion that can defend decently well, it's Veigar and his Aurelion Soul. Because of the cage, it's so dangerous to walk up, even with Baron buff, a lot of times you have to really keep that in mind. And Aesol can just lock minions in place and yeah, they can't even reach the tower, it's so annoying. The On-It Dream is going to come true this game. And he's waiting. Look, he's preparing the Gromp with a lot of spears in hopes of somebody passing by. And if somebody passed by and he executes it with the first ability, he'll just one-shot somebody. This happened also on PC years ago, where they just prepared a camp and just leashed it toward an objective. And then they just one-tapped the objective. That is something that was able to be done in the past, but now equally to WildRift, they have a 50% damage modifier to the rend. So your rend only does 50% damage to epic monsters. Feels bad, man. And now the enemy team surrenders. Very nice, and as per usual, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, check out KRANIX, and we'll see each other for more content very soon.